Why die? Have you guys ever thought about why die for just a simple reply? Today we will talk about why texting while driving is bad. Why most of those accidents today happens because just of a simple reply that could have waited until you reached your destination. Also, and how it affects our lives on a day-to-day basis. We will talk about the different problems that texting and driving causes us. For it doesn't allow us to focus on the road, and second, it puts us at risk and everybody else around us. Have you guys ever thought about that if you just waited for just that simple text until you had reached, it could have been your sister driving next to you, your brother. But we don't think about that because we're so busy at looking at phones just to reply. So I will take an example with myself. Sometimes when I drive, I don't care if somebody send me a text, I just reply. But I don't think about the people around me, the other cars. I could be speeding on the I-95, but I don't care because I want to reply this text message that could have waited. Even that phone call. But now we have a system in our cars that have the Bluetooth. Not everybody wants to use this Bluetooth thing because it's not comfortable. So today we will talk about the problem with texting while driving. Texting while driving causes a lot of death nowadays, especially for teens. They don't really think about really why they shouldn't text and drive. They just think about maybe the party that they're going to go to that a friend is texting. But really they don't pay attention to the car next to them. If the person is slowing down in front of them. If the person is speeding when they're switching lanes. And that happened to me recently. I was texting and driving. There was a car next to me. And I didn't see the car coming. And I almost hit the car. So that right there, that could have caused my life. So I would say that the problem nowadays is that people text instead of calling, but it's up to us to decide if it is important to us to reply to that text message that could have caused your life. Just so you know that nowadays we have over 34,247 fatal crashes that happen in the United States because of that simple reply that could have waited. So there was also 52,000 drivers that also had accident. They didn't get killed, but were in a fatal accident. We also have 37,133 people that were killed because of just a simple reply. So what can we do to change that? We can probably just put out the Bluetooth when we get into our cars, connect it so that if you receive a text message, the car would read it. In my car, if I have a text message, the lady in the car, will say you have a text message if she wants to read it. You could just do that option, but not everybody wants to use that because they want privacy with the text messages. So now, have you ever thought about why texting and driving is bad? Have you ever thought about that could risk your life? You could wake up one day and just say you're going to the store, and then after that your family receive a call and say that you're at the hospital because of that simple reply that could have waited. So one of the main things that I could say for a solution is that you could wait for that call. If it's not an emergency, the person can wait. If it's not an emergency to reply to the text, you can wait until you arrive at your destination. Because of this, texting and while driving, a lot of people lose their lives, especially teenagers in high school. I feel this problem relates to us because we all do it without really thinking about the fatal causes of the aftermath of the texting. We don't really think about the person next to us in our cars. Like there's a lot of drivers, like usually when I drive, there's a lot of drivers that text and drive, they always look down. They don't look up. So in conclusion, I would say that we need to stop texting to pay more attention to the road. And why not wait until we arrive to our final destination to really reply to that person? If it's an emergency, the person can call and you plug into your car if you have Bluetooth. If not, wait until you can pull over on the side of the road and text or even call that person. But if it's an emergency, I don't think we should really answer the text message and reply. So the reference that I got from the numbers with the 32,000 fatal causes is from the National Highway Traffic Administration. It was caused, they were talking about how distracted drivers got into fatal crashes in 2017 in the United States. Also, I also found another resource. It was the Federal Communication Commission in April 8, 2019. They spoke about the dangers of distracted drivers. They spoke about how it cost their lives because they were texting and driving. How they need to enforce giving drivers tickets because they were texting and driving that is not responsible and cost people's lives. The other one that I have was, the other resource were from a writer that spoke about his sister that passed away because she was texting and driving. And she didn't wait because of that simple reply, she lost her life. Yes. Do you guys have any questions on how the solution of texting and driving, how it could be better, how people shouldn't really text and drive? Did you guys understand, or did you guys feel like it needs to be a change on the highway or people driving in general?
I don't do that, but I really understand what you're about to say. I'm gonna do it from understand. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again. My name is Petit-fond.